Okay, since we got the reveal trailer for Marvel's Wolverine, one of the things that I was really hoping for that we hadn't gotten up until today was a nice full look at Wolverine's suit in the game. He wears a bunch of different looks throughout the trailer. I mean, we see obviously what he was wearing in the initial reveal for Marvel's Wolverine back in 2021. We see him in some traditional civilian clothing with a nice jacket, I might add. And then also we see him in the yellow suit. I was waiting and hoping that we would get like a good look at it, zoomed out, where we can actually kind of analyze it, and finally we have that with a brand new screenshot that was recently shared for Marvel's Wolverine. We're gonna talk about that here and more in today's video. There's actually quite a bit to go over, even though it's a small, like a tiny new look at the game. There's still gonna be a lot that we're gonna analyze here. Hit that thumbs up button, of course, if you're excited for the game, and like I've been trying to tell you guys ever since we got that reveal, I have so much content planned for Marvel's Wolverine, and now I am trying to execute on that content. So subscribe, turn on those notifications. Lots of more Wolverine videos are coming your way. But okay, I was just randomly scrolling late last night and I see a new image being shared online for Marvel's Wolverine. When we got the PlayStation blog and when we got the reveal trailer during the State of Play, I know that some press releases had gone out and a lot of people were sharing some 4K screenshots from the game that were shared to them by PlayStation and Insomniac. You know, we got like a nice up close look at Logan with all this blood on him, looking amazing. We got a newer screenshot of Wolverine fighting one of the Reavers in his civilian clothing, looking again fantastic. And then there was also like a good high quality screenshot of the money shot from the end of the trailer when Wolverine snicks his claws as he says, "I'm no hero, I'm Wolverine." But one thing that we did not get was this screenshot that we now have that has recently popped up online. And it's a good look at Wolverine's suit as he's facing off against one of the Reavers in the alleyway here. We know, at least we can infer, that this is a part of the game where you are in Tokyo, Japan. It looks like it's the same area where we do actually get a bit of a gameplay snippet from the trailer that we got at the State of Play of Wolverine. In this exact same area, it looks like you can kind of tell from the vending machine that's in the background of the photo. That same vending machine can be seen during that little gameplay snippet. And so yeah, looks like it's the same area. Looks like this is Tokyo, Japan, and my God, does that suit look clean, dude. For me, at least, it is a nice modern take on what a classic Wolverine costume should look like. I know there's some people that maybe want it to be the classic yellow and blue. It looks like, from what I can tell, this costume is yellow and black in this game, but there is some lighting that may give you the impression that it's got some blue. But man, the gauntlets look really good here. Just the suit itself, the base costume on the torso and everything look fantastic. I really love the cowl, the mask. It's so good looking. And yeah, the white eyes is just, it's perfect. It's perfect. I'm not against having like the real eyes looking through the mask. I think that's cool. And I think it especially works for Batman in live action film. But the white eyes is also just such a sick effect. And I'm glad that Insomniac went with that direction here for this costume in the game. But I will say, some people have pointed out, and I did find this really interesting, and that's why I'm saying we're gonna analyze this a bit more than you would think. You know, I know it's just one little screenshot. It's a small new look at the game. How much could we possibly analyze? Oh, you're on the right channel, my friends, because we are going to dig deep and look into every little bit from this photo. Because a lot of people pointed out that this costume's got what looks like a utility belt. There's some stuff there on Wolverine's belt. We know that as a video game, there may be some video gamey aspects about it to make it fluid and make it, you know, a unique sort of take on the character and not just what you would expect for the character from the comic books. And so maybe there's gonna be some gadgets, maybe there's gonna be something that he is using there on his belt. And it's going to have to do with gameplay in some way, shape, or form. We'll have to see how it all works when we get our hands on the game, or maybe we'll learn more about that come time for spring 2026. It's just something that I did find interesting to know. Traditionally, when you're looking at a regular Wolverine costume, I don't think he usually has a utility belt, at least not to my knowledge. It's not to say that the costumes don't have like a belt. I mean, like that has happened. Obviously, we have seen versions of the classic costume for Wolverine where it has a belt, or, you know, sometimes it has like the X on the belt, but we don't usually see it have any sort of function, it have anything like utility-wise on the actual belt that Wolverine uses. And naturally, that's because he's got the two freaking claws that he's using. So I'm definitely intrigued to see what is going going on there in this specific screenshot that was revealed. Another thing that I wanted to go over and talk about, I did mention this at the end of my last video, but I do want to reiterate it once again here today. Insomniac recently put out a tweet. They put out some posts over on their social channels, and they essentially just asked people what they want to know about when they talk more about the game in spring 2026. So they tweeted, "What are you itching to know about Marvel's #Wolverine PS5 when more info drops in spring 2026? Let us know in the comments." And shout outs to all of you guys. You ended up liking the hell out of my reply, because what I ended up replying to them with was what I wanted to know, which is how much of the areas that we're going to visit in this game can we explore? So when we go to Canada, when we go to Madripoor, when we go to Tokyo, Japan, how much of those areas are going to be explorable in some way? You know, Jeff Grubb had previously reported that the game is going to have like a semi-open world, so I'm really wondering if that's going to end up being true, and if there's going to be like hub areas in Canada, in Tokyo, in Madripoor that we get to just explore around and free roam around. So fingers crossed that come spring 2026 they'll answer my question, but I also want to throw that back to you guys. Make sure you submit some questions of your own. You never know if yours is going to get chosen, and it might be a burning question that a lot of people in the community want to know about as well. I think there were plenty of replies where people just wanted to know about what alternate suits are going to be in the game, and that's totally fair. It's a Wolverine game. If there's going to be anybody out there that's going to have a ton of alternate costumes to rival that of like a Spider-Man game, a Wolverine game would be the one. But I'll also mention that Terry over on Twitter ended up responding to Insomniac and said, could we at least see a wish list option before 2025 ends, and then a 2026 pre-order of the game? Just make Wolverine a wish listable game before 2025 ends, just to give that extra boost of confidence in users. That would be great. Can't wait to see news next spring. And Insomniac actually responded to this and said that there's no exact timing on that currently, but we'll let you know if we have updates on wish listing. And yeah, that's a bit of a new concept for me, at least as someone who's been playing games for a really long time. My God, I'm getting old. But yeah, like wish listing is something that I know a lot of people like to do these days. And you will notice that there is no such thing currently available for Marvel's Wolverine. So I'm glad that Insomniac has at least answered. That's something that they don't have an exact date on just yet, but they're looking into it. At some point, you're going to be able to wish this a game, obviously. Whether or not it's going to be before the end of the year, I guess we'll see. But I do think that come time spring 2026, whenever they deliver some more information, that's probably also going to coincide when they want pre-orders for the game to go live. I'm very intrigued to see the type of information they're ready to deliver come time for spring of 2026. It's cool that they're just opening the floor to the community to ask some questions. So there's obviously going to be a portion of whatever they got planned for spring 2026 that's going to include questions from the community, or at the very least is planning to answer some of those things that people want to see. But with that being said, now let me kick it to you guys. Sound off your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about that brand new screenshot, and what do you think is going on there with Wolverine's utility belt? What do you think he's going to be using in the game? Like, what's the function of the belt there? I wonder. Sound off your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure to leave your questions for Insomniac. I've been Caboose. I'll see you guys later.